Should I join in? I'm really damaged.
Oh no.
I'm itching. Itching for the podcast.
There we go. That's exactly what I was going to say. Yes.
Why do you think, you know, your brand popped off, I guess, like, you know?
Because it's sick.
It's a little northern secret, this place, isn't it?
It actually is. Legend has it. The best place on earth for food.
We've got a steak from in there.
No? Are they good?
Yeah. On the way back.
Yeah.
Get one on the way back.
Yeah. Shit. Dude, we just got to Scotland to do like a triathlon. And I can't walk. My legs still don't work. And your neck's still fucked from New York. I can't believe how like cold it is up here compared to Baltimore.
Well, this is the 2 days of summer we get here.
Is it really?
Yeah, it's bad. Yeah.
How hot has it been today?
Low 20s? Alright, nice. Summer's been and gone. It's over.
It's 30 where we are today. We need to wake up.
What's the turnaround time from?
Well, we need 8 hours and it's 10:39.
So
7 AM.
We need to get on a transatlantic flight. Buy some time back.
I'm doing 4:20 straight up. Gotta leave here at like 22:45.
How are your legs, George?
Yes. Been in a fucking 1800s house. Now we're going up a fucking mountain.
Crack it.
Nice. Let's go.
It's not an ad. We're just tired.
Good morning.
Just turn right.
Turn right. How are you on this lovely morning?
Fantastic.
Yeah?
I've not checked my route data yet, but fantastic.
Wait, so we got to take that. You gonna take that with you, or are you gonna take a little one?
Take this with me.
Shit. It's like an extra 2 kg, 3 kg. Are you still doing that no caffeine for 90 minutes of waking up?
Like this. It basically takes you to the bottom of Scald Law. So we go. Oh yeah.
My hamstrings are so bad.
Is this going to be us the whole way?
Yeah.
Just you looking for snacks in my bag.
Hello, good morning and welcome to another video and welcome to the Pentlands National Park. 15 minutes outside of Edinburgh and we are going to go for a little 15k loop around Scald Law back down through the road. If you're not familiar with the area, basically a little national park just outside of the capital of Scotland. We are going to run around the Pentlands. We are going to go for a swim at Gladhouse Reservoir, which if you've been to the channel before, you're familiar around here, you'll know where that is. We're then going to head back to the house and maybe nap because it is currently just gone 5 in the morning. We will then get some work done and then we're going to head into Edinburgh for a podcast recording.
I'm excited. We're going to do some training as well.
You've not been up here before, have you? Like,
Never been up here now.
No.
I've been to Edinburgh once when I was a child, but not since then.
No, because this is, I think you'll like this as a setup because it's so close to the city.
Yeah.
It's quiet, facilities, and actually a lot quieter than the rest of England.
Yeah.
I don't know, I've never actually
Edinburgh's literally there.
Edinburgh's there, and the bigger road that you came up from Bolton on is that way. Mate, it's such a novelty to me that you can stand looking at Edinburgh Castle with a view of everything around you next to a Highland cow, and occasionally you forget there's a Highland cow next to you and it's just like this towards you and you're like, oh god, shit. Because they are timid, but when it's coming to you with the horns, it's difficult to not be like, I lose this battle every time.
Yeah, you're dead.
Whenever, alright, let's bounce. So this is Scold Law, which is the highest point in this little region here, and I think this has been freshly painted because with my terrible eyesight and contact lenses in, I could see it from that point over there clear as day. This is as good a day as I've ever had in the Pentlands, and I'm not just saying that because there's a camera pointed at me. It's mad to, one, get clarity, two, not have too much wind. The fact you can hear me is a miracle. And three, a cloud inversion that's not just here, but it's stuck around. This is like we're up in the Highlands, we're hours and hours away, but we're in a capital city just there. So you've timed it well. Timed it well coming up on the day that you have. Was there a moment when you got out of the gym bro culture and started running, like during the pandemic, where you had one moment where you're like, oh my god, this is life changing?
Yeah.
Where was it?
I found this little 10k route from my mum's house, because I lived at my mum's then, and it'd go around a reservoir near Rivington, and I started doing it every morning, and after like probably even 2-3 weeks, it just started hitting me, and I was like, oh my god, like there's something that's just, the creativity that I got from it. I don't know, it sounds fucking cliche, but dude, I'd go out there and I'd just think. The 247 pan came about, because I was literally running with Mike, and I was like, dude, why have we not built the pant that we can just fucking run in, hiking, go to work in, go home in? We've never done high quantities before, we've never used the Far East, I don't want to get burned, it needs to be great. Sent the sample back, we couldn't rip it apart, we couldn't tear it, we were like, right, this is it. And there's no content about them, yet they sell every single week hundreds of pairs in black.
That came from one 10k loop reservoir.
Yeah. And do you know what?
It's less than fuel, isn't it?
What is it that attracted you to like the ultras and
maybe it was by accident.
Ironmans?
It was by accident. The first charity logic was essentially, I'm miserable, I'm slipping back into a state of depression. Last time you were like this, you stubborned your way to almost being dead. Let's not make that mistake again. What were you missing last time? Fulfillment, purpose. Okay, let's find some. What are you good at? I was good at squatting at the time. Okay, that's one thing. What can you do? Charity event. So I looked at statistics and saw that 500,000 men die by suicide every single year. Movember were a charity that used that statistic. Put two and two together and attempted to squat 500,000 kilos in 24 hours. But after 128,000 kilos or so, my knee decided that it no longer wanted to partake in this challenge. But along the way, I was forced to keep my strength base as high as I could whilst raising my aerobic base all the way up. So I remember the first day that I saw 2 hours at under 140 beats per minute heart rate that Johnny had programmed for me. And at that point I hadn't ran 10k since I was 17. And the thought was, has he made a fucking mistake here? 2 hours of running. And that was the first time in my life I'd ever monitored my heart rate and moved at sort of an easy, conversational, reflective pace. It was absolutely life-changing, because I was running on a segment of road I'd grown up walking with my parents, bike rides with my parents. I could remember being young there, and I was engaging with it in a totally different way, because I was kind of moving at such a steady pace that I could think and I could engage with my surroundings. And then that just built and built and built. And then since then it's never been an option. I will never go a week where I'm not putting myself in that space, because I know how valuable it is for me. And then there's just been this scaled tiering of, right, what's exciting to me, what's going to push me, what's going to make me question whether I've actually got this within me, and just scaled that over time, really. And the double was the most recent example of that real big push. And I think that's why the cliche of fitness and training can be life-changing is so done to death, but it really can be. It absolutely opened me up to like the truest, most honest, best version of myself, which is happened at a young age. So I feel very fortunate that I've sort of come to that realization, yes, through a negative experience when I'm younger, but you don't need to go through a negative experience to learn those lessons to then carry you forwards, which is essentially what I think you want the brand to represent in many ways, isn't it?
100%. And like, even though I've not done the extreme that you've done, I get them same feelings when I'm completing a high rocks, or I'm on the last 2 efforts of it, or yeah, I'm going running 40, 50k. It's all all the same thing.
The only caveat I'd add there is as long as it's a healthy relationship with everything, because I think you can easily fall into the trap of just relentless forward motion for not necessarily a purpose. And that's the trap I found myself in when I was younger, where my sole metric for success was like graphed towards a future version of myself. So I lost sight of the day-to-day and everything that was going to get me there. And the circumstances changed with the plan, which meant that because I said I was going to do something, I wanted to be this person in the future, everything I was doing and every decision I was making on a day-to-day basis was trying to get me to that future version of myself. That plan was made for an older version of me, and I just stuck with that because I was a stubborn young bloke who just wanted to be kind of toxic hustle culture in many ways, without the sort of passion or purpose or emotional awareness that allows it to become what actually nets a return, rather than just hard work for the sake of hard work. I don't think there's a bad thing with that, but if you're just constantly hard working for the sake of hard working, not actually moving forwards, that can be quite a damaging place to be, having been there in the past.
Yeah.
So I think it's having clear metrics in your mind on what you're wanting to achieve and how you track it on a day-to-day basis is very important. Otherwise you can just get caught in the being a slave to yourself and the next day and what's coming, and you never actually get a chance to be like, you know what, it's sick that we get to be in a hill on a Tuesday morning at 7:41. But if you look at the person you sat next to at work, or you look at the person, you look at the screen in front of you and look back at the person that's sitting there and think, right, how can I make one step forwards today and one step forwards tomorrow, rather than thinking, right, how can I make 1,000 steps forward tomorrow, because it's too much at once. Rome wasn't built in a day, was it now? And that's the important thing to remember. But videos like this one, important to caveat, context, everything that precludes this point now is years and years and years of learning and mistakes that's got to this point.
Like, there's so much that's gone into building who we are now. Like, if you can come across Fergus or George on YouTube or Instagram and think that this has just happened, it's fucking not. It's been a long personal journey, and yeah, we're only 10 years into it. So imagine coming onto our Instagrams when we're 40, 50, and you still being in that place where you've not done anything, and you being that age. You're gonna look at it like we're a million miles apart, but it's not about that, is it? It's about that next step for that one person. And if you can inspire them just to go and do a 100-meter run, 400-meter run, 1K, build it up, whatever it is, you're gonna feel that same feeling that we're feeling now, even on like a fucking 2K run.
It doesn't need to be mental, it just needs to be fulfilling. And the thing I always come back to is Fergus of 5 years ago, standing here right now, would tell you, nah, fuck off, no way, mate. And it's so hard to actually, like, in the moment be like, oh, sick, I've made the younger version of me happy. I always kind of think, right, teenage Fergus, when he was miserable and suicidal and suffering with depression and everything that went with it, didn't want to wake up the following morning one day, whereas now I'm very fortunate and grateful that I'm in a position where that's not the case. But it's unfathomable to me that that was in such a short period of time. But all that happened was in 2018 in a coffee shop in Brixton, salted caramel brownie and a flat white, I remember it well. Opened my laptop one day, yeah, a lot of carbs, mate, sorry, you're uncomfortable. You're uncomfortable. Just run away. Goodbye. Put my laptop down because I just felt like I'd hit a point with the work that I was doing in London where I just wasn't happy, and I felt like I was going back towards a negative version of myself that I recognised from the past. And there was a part of me in the back of my head that wanted to be like, oh, just crack on, just get on with it. And that was the voice that I sort of shut out and thought, no, action. What can you actually change in your day-to-day life to make this better? And that's where the charity fundraising started, from a place of sort of passion and borderline selfishness, because I needed a source of fulfillment to make myself happy again. But then in that process, shared my personal experience with the world, which at the time was my personal Facebook account and Instagram account of like 800 followers, made the Instagram account I now have for that event. And then everything since then I've been making up as I go along, building the wings as I fly, just from one decision in a coffee shop in Brixton to take one positive step forward. And I think that's the message I always like to lead with, because in that coffee shop, if I'd said this decision is going to lead to this point right now, I'd go, nah, fuck off, no way, mate, not a chance, you idiot, what are you talking about? Get your head out your arse. But here we are, and that's what's fun. So I personally want to do a better job of actually reminding myself of that, because in the week to week, the day to day, it's easy to get focused on the to-do list and what's next, and you lose sight of actually the progress that we've made. And one step forwards is progress in my mind, and that's completely relative to the individual. So don't let some geezer on the internet tell you how to feel, but take things that people say on the internet and apply them to you as individuals so you can better understand how you feel. That's the sort of way I'd summarise what has been a lot of words there.
That was a lovely story. I'm ready for bed now. That was Great.
So there's a segment at the end on Strava. There's 280 metres and I'm currently 5th all time.
Oh shit, really?
I think it's a 4-minute mile pace for 250 metres to be number 1.
Are you going to try it?
I'm going to try it. We're going to try it. But your legs are fine, aren't they, George? Everything's okay at the moment.
Should I join in? Like, I'm really damaged. Steve says, Steve, if you're watching this, it wasn't me. Says do not fucking sprint.
Really?
Nothing above 60%. If it tears now, you have to take it to hospital. Properly. Deal.
Okay. Deal. Right. I'm gonna come round this. I'm strangely nervous.
Do you want to go first or do you want us to go together?
I'll go. Why don't we go first? This is the first time in my life I've ever started my watch specifically for a Strava segment. But I can tell you one thing for free, it won't be the last.
So did you meet Stu, Steve, whatever his name was?
We'll find out. Have you got a phone?
Suspense is killing me.
Oh no. Oh no. Cut it 15 metres short. Oh no. Fuck. But pace-wise, we did all we needed to do. So you can tell this is the first time we've ever just gone for a Strava segment because we're not very good at it. And that's what I'll say to myself as I cry myself to sleep tonight. It's silly now, really. Started 10 metres too early, finished 10 metres too early again, yeah, both times, yeah.
Calling people
Finishing
out.
early is the theme here, I think we can all agree on.
Are you going to tell him who beat you as well?
George did open up quite nicely there. Yeah.
Opening up and finishing early.
Yeah. But
Usual.
yeah. Yeah. Hello and welcome to Gladhouse Reservoir. Great place to swim. Gladhouse Reservoir, everyone. Couldn't get George a wetsuit, so we've saved him from drowning, which I think was a legitimate concern.
We did 6 laps of the island.
Oh yeah, shit. Sorry, no, we did 6 laps of the island. Yeah. Definitely.
You only did 6?
Yeah. My hair's still dry as well.
Harry did 9.
9? Multiples of 3? I did 12. Wee. Getting hot. So we're going to go and lift some weights in the garage, and then we're going to head into Edinburgh for a podcast recording via the car valet, as both our cars have been parked in some trees and have seen better days. And George has become so uncomfortable that it needs sorted immediately.
Shit, it's gone wall.
Freeze rolls one more.
Yeah. It's like a hot roll.
It's like buying ice and then having water.
Let's go for a little walk, eh?
Who's going to carry the boat?
Well, who's going to carry the 50 kg depot?
No one's ever going to need to. But we'll do it anyway.
And we're about to head back into Edinburgh for a podcast. So if there's going to be any lesson from today's video, it is that a pre-podcast pump is as essential a part of anyone's routine as anything else can be. And we're going to discuss all of your routines of the podcast, aren't we? Because that's what people like to hear about, is it not?
They do. I don't know what this is. It? Did you say it's
Arginine.
arginine is? But I am itching like fuck right now.
Oh no, that's beta-alanine.
Beta-alanine.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm itching. Itching for the podcast.
There we go. That's exactly what I was going to say. Yes. Yes.
Just a quick hair and makeup.
Quick hair and makeup. Just shave the beard into a 300 beard. So you look more aesthetically pleasing, more Chad. If the chin's bigger.
More Giga Chad.
Yeah. I actually need to do a little shave, but I'm not doing it.
Good afternoon. We are set up for, any guesses? You guessed it, a 5k best effort. No, we're about to do a podcast, and we're in a lovely setting for it. So George is opposite me.
Hello.
He has the high ground, Anakin. Me,
yeah.
So me. I'm very low down over here. All right, job done. Very successful day, very successful podcast. And have you had a good time?
Dude, it's been one of my favourite days. I'll never forget it. Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Excellent.
Scotland's been beautiful for us.
You'll be back.
I will be back. Yeah. Right, appreciate it.
Loved it. Fantastic. Safe travels.
Home, 4-hour nap, and then strategy day tomorrow. You coming to strategy day or not? Oh no, we got a train in the morning as well.
How's the legs?
One is swollen again. Somehow. It's gone purple and fat.
Come on, I know what we can do.
I'll update you tomorrow. No, don't do that. Please. The squished up grenade that Harry froze and then forgot it.
What have you got, a steak?
What did you get?
A steak what?
Steak and ale pie. And I've absolutely obliterated it.
So?
9 PM. Way past our bedtime. We're at T-base services somewhere in the middle of the Lake District. We needed some dinner. We got up at about 4:45 this morning, hit a long trail, about 15k, 3 peaks with FERGUS CRAWLEY. Then we did a little ice bath, which wasn't really an ice bath because the water was actually pretty mild. And then we went to his, trained a bit of push and pull. Then we went and did a podcast. It's been a long day. I think we're about 18-19 hours into it. Got to get up at 5 again tomorrow to do the class with 247 gym, so not much sleep over these last few nights, but we will recover on the weekend. Got a big day tomorrow, so yeah, signing out. Why are you recording? Second steak and ale. Hey, it is what it is.